Hey everyone. Hey my dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ. Like, there's a huge difference between being awake in this life and being asleep in this life. Most people in the world are asleep. They don't know the truth. They don't know Jesus or the Bible, and they believe in outer space and the globe, evolution and the Big Bang, and a lot of other garbage that is false. A lot of Christians that are awake to the reality of the world, it can be lonely and depressing when so many people deny reality and they're living their best life now, not caring or researching or doing anything. Very simply, if you type in pictures of outer space into Google Images, do you think this is a real photograph? Web images, hey? Do you think these are real photographs? It is CGI. Look at how fake this is. I know it's weird at first to understand this, but why would they fake this? Well, here's a quote unquote astronaut way out in outer space, and he says, I see no God up here. And this guy comes back and says, you will when your oxygen tank runs out, but that's not true either. Right? These people, they use CGI, virtual reality, augmented reality, water tanks, pools, zero G, right? Like when they go up in a plane, you can there is no gravity, there's density and buoyancy. But when you go up in a plane, you can have that time when the plane does whatever it does, when it starts flying down or up or whatever. I'm not sure on all the exact, I've never been in a plane and had that experience, but I know that can happen. But it's not because of gravity, and it's not because you're out in outer space. It really is not. There's going to be people that have questions probably. I don't have all the answers to this stuff. I just know that this stuff is fake. You think this is real? You think this is actually our world? The universe, in quotes? In the beginning, God made the universe and outer space. That says nowhere in the Bible. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Earth is creation. It's not a universe of creation. Some people would say, well, you're taking away from God's majesty and how vast the things are. But it's not the case. It really is not. This is fake. You think this is real? Like, what? If you're asleep and you believe this, well, NASA's putting it out, so it must be real. No, not even close. It is fake. I see no God up here. Okay, then, right? That's part of the agenda. Why do they do this? How can they do this? To make people not believe in Jesus Christ and the Bible, to have salvation. There's many other reasons, power, control, money. There's so many reasons they do this. If you don't research, you're not going to know. You're going to think that I'm a crazy person that doesn't know what I'm talking about, and I know at least a little of what I'm talking about. Here's Buzz Aldrin, the Freemason, and the fake astronaut that's lying. He's done interviews, that famous interview with the little girl. Why have we not gone back to the moon is basically what she's saying. And he's like, well, because we didn't go there and that's the way it happened, and that kind of thing. Because it's got to eat away at his soul, his heart, mind, soul, and strength, if he even has a soul. He's doing 666 over his Eye of Horus because he's a fake astronaut Freemason deceiving the world. I don't know how this person sleeps at night. Brian May, the guitarist from the band Queen, is an astrophysicist, right? He's doing 666 on his hand. He's doing index fingers pressed together, other fingers interlocked, the Uttara Bodhi Mudra, because he's a sold-out satanic Freemason. He's an astrophysicist as well, which is another term for a liar. Scott Kelly, he's pretty cool, hey, another fake astronaut. Index fingers pressed together, other fingers interlocked. Just a coincidence all the time, eh? Elon Musk has Tesla, X. Like I never want to call. I've never been on Twitter. I just never have got on there. It doesn't interest me. But calling it X is stupid. It's Twitter, and he's doing 666 on his hand there because he's sold out to the devil. And he does index fingers pressed together, pressed against his lips, other fingers interlocked. Why? Because he's a good guy looking out for you? No. SpaceX? Are you joking? NASA fake guy Jeffrey Williams says science and the Bible are in harmony. No, they are not. There is real science and math that works out when you put the math and you put it to the test and you test it over and over again. There is real science in the world. It's not the fake Freemason science that these people say. This person is a liar and a deceiver. They claim to be a Christian, I think. If he's talking about the Bible, right? He'd be a Christian. Science and the Bible are not in harmony. You think that the Big Bang Theory lines up with the Bible? You think that the theory of evolution lines up with the Bible? Are you kidding? God created Adam out of the dust of the ground and breathed life into his nostrils, put him to sleep in a deep sleep, removed a rib and made Eve his helpmeet. That is what happened. That is reality. That is creation. That is how we were made. It is not a big bang. It is not evolution like monkey men and all this other garbage. Those things are lies. And if you don't research and you just go, well, the world says that, that's where you are in life. And it's shameful and embarrassing. And if I were you, I'd be embarrassed to be a human being. Oh, what's he doing with his hands there? Index fingers pressed together, other fingers interlocked. It's probably just a humongous coincidence. If you think that this is a photograph of Earth, the globe, you're deceived. As this guy who did it and made it from NASA, Robert Simmons, it is Photoshop, but it has to be. He made this with his computer. And he will say, well, I use statistics of the world and blah, blah, blah. And let's just hear what he has to say.
In 2002, Blue Marble 2.0, NASA's Rob Simon made this. And it had wide appeal too. For example, it ended up as the default background on the iPhone.
Oh, it's the default background on the iPhone, which most people have. I know other people have other like Google phones and whatever, but like the iPhone, most people have an iPhone. This is called brainwashing. This is a computer-generated image. It's CGI, computer-generated image. It's made by a man on a computer, a man named Robert Simmons, who photoshopped things and just copy and pasted things. That's what this is. It is not a photograph from outer space. Where's all the stars? Where's everything else? Nope.
Even know until I bought an iPhone and turned it on and kind of did a little happy dance.
Simmons' job is...
It's primarily taking data and making pictures out of it.
That's what this is. A composite of data sets from several different instruments translated into a picture.
To us, the really cool thing was the data set. Up until that point, there was no realistic color map of the globe anywhere.
So the land layer here comes from
the moderate resolution imaging spectroradiometer aboard Terra.
And the tricky part here was the weather.
So we actually
look at that thing. Look at it.
we had to take clouds out.
They stashed the clouds for later, went onto the ocean. That came from an instrument that measures phytoplankton in the sea.
Where it was low, I colored it dark blue because they're low mostly in mid-oceans. And then where it's a little bit higher, it was like a little bit brighter green.
Then add the clouds back in.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit.
So some of those are painted on.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Then,
There was another layer to sort of simulate the atmosphere.
and then there's this little bright spot.
It's called the specular highlight. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water.
Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of
It looks kind of flat. There's some truth for you. It looks kind of flat.
too see-through. So I just hit Command Z a lot.
There's artistry to creating the world.
What I imagine it to be. Unfortunately, I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space, but
No one has been to space. They didn't land on the moon. The moon is a light in the sky with no terra firma land to land on. It's a light in the sky. No one's landing on it. No one landed on it. They lied about that. And if you research it, you see how pathetic it is.
I've looked at these images over and over again, trying to sort of get the essence of it. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
The world is biblical. The earth most certainly is flat, motionless, and dome with God's firmament. Obviously, people know about the waters below because, earth creation is like 70% water with the oceans and seas and everything else. Lots of water below, but there's also waters above. There's no outer space. There's a firmament dome with the sun, moon, stars, wandering stars, the planets, inside the dome that rotate on their circuits. The fixed stars, the constellations, they're always in the same spots when they rotate around with the firmament. I want people to get this already because it's painful that people don't want to believe this. I don't have this all figured out. There's always people with like gotcha type questions. Well, explain this then, guy. I can't explain everything. I don't know how everything works. It's like we've been lied to since birth. I personally have been lied to since birth, and I'm not putting up with that. God has opened my eyes. He's opened many other brothers and sisters in Christ's eyes as well. We're trying to show people the truth. Hopefully it'll put the fear of God in them and they'll come to their senses and have faith in Jesus to be saved. Otherwise, they're living their best life now, being brainwashed, living a lie, lie upon lie upon lie upon lie. The average person has no idea, no clue how many lies go on in this world. It's shocking. Brothers and sisters, everyone else, God bless you.